get ready to refresh your wardrobe with my beginner-friendly Capsule sew-along series. You all voted for your 5 patterns that you want me to do as sew-alongs, and we're going to sew them together in my 15-part Capsule series. So let's take a look at the patterns together and then have a chat about yummy fabrics together. The first pattern that you all chose was the Summer in New York dress by Seasons of East Patterns. Some images will be popping up so that you can get a feel for the pattern, and we'll just have a little chat about what I think about it. So Seasons of East Summer in New York dress, it's a stunning kimono style dress with a semi-cinched in waist, a plunging neckline if you want it, but you can adjust that, and we're going to go through that in the pattern. I've made one of these dresses before and the fit is so flattering. I can't wait to make some more with you together. So what fabrics do I recommend for the Seasons of East dress? Well, if you're a beginner sewer and you're not used to dealing with problem fabrics, then I would stick with a lightweight poplin or a cotton lawn. You don't want anything too structured because you need it to have some floatability to it. If you're up for the challenge, then look for a viscose. It would be beautiful in a lightweight viscose chalet. Or if you want a bit more structure, then look at a viscose twill, because that's a viscose, it has the floatability, but a little bit more structure because of the twill weave in the fabric. You're going to need 3 meters of this fabric, and I think it lends itself to both a plain fabric and a print. So whichever you prefer, if you like something big and bold, it takes big bold patterns really well, or if you want a more classic look, look for something with a small or plain pattern, maybe with a textured weave in it. So the sky's the limit really. Just make sure it's light to medium weight fabric and you're comfortable with being able to sew with it. If you do choose a viscose, don't worry, we're going to go through a quick trick of mine to try and give it a bit more stability in the seams when you're sewing them. Garment number 2 is the Moriko Top and Dress pattern. There are lots of variations in this top. We're sewing the top, not the dress, but there's lots of variations. You can have a V front, a V back, both, round neck. You can even have an off one shoulder design. So I was going to say off the shoulder, it's not. The shoulder is non-existent on one side. Now this pattern also really lends itself to colour blocking because of the diagonal design on the front. So what fabrics do I recommend for the Moriko Top? Now it's got to have a reasonable amount of stretch. They're saying 20% stretch. So don't go for anything too structured. Structured pontes are not going to work for this top. It needs a little bit of give. So if you're a beginner sewer, I'd look at cotton jerseys. They're the easiest ones to start sewing in knit fabrics or jersey fabrics with, but they've got the stretch and there's some really nice ones out there. If you want something a bit more luxurious, then why not look at bamboo jersey? And they do bamboo cotton mixed jerseys as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but the soft feel of that fabric is like a fabric hug. You could also think about a lightweight knit fabric if you want something a little bit warmer for the spring. The fabric quantities for the Moriko are 1.3 metres for the round neck and 1.6 metres for the cross-bodied version. And when you buy the pattern, there is a very detailed chart with all the different quantities of fabric, so please check that before you purchase your fabric when you've decided which option you're going for. Garment number 3 that you all picked was the Pietra Pants, and I am so pleased that you picked these because I've never made them. I know, the pattern's been out a long time. It's a closet core pattern. Now, these pants are flat fronted with an elasticated waist at the back, and I'm liking the look of that because when you do an elasticated waist trouser, if it's elasticated at the front, it can be quite bulky around your midriff, and when you're trying to slim that down, if you like, it really doesn't help, so that flat front is going to work really well. They've got large slanted front pocket detail on them, and I'm really interested to see how they work out because I love a good pocket. There are 3 options to make with these trousers. You can do the tapered leg, you can also do a wide leg trouser, and you can even make a pair of shorts. Now, when we're doing ours, I'm going to go for the tapered leg for the sew along, and we'll be doing the shorts just as a toile. So what fabrics do they recommend that you use? Well, you can use anything from a viscose and rayon for the wide leg floaty trousers to linens and twills and chambrays or lightweight denims for the more structured tapered leg trouser. And for the tapered leg trouser, you're going to need from 2.25 metres and up. So again, check the charts when you buy your pattern and make sure you're ordering enough fabric for your trousers. Garment number 4 that you all chose was the Teifi Cardigan from Itch to Stitch. Now, if you follow me, you will know I love this cardigan. It's very Chanel in style, and it's got a classic collar and large statement pockets on the front. There are 2 length options. You can do the cropped length or the hip length. And I've only ever done the crop length, so I might do the hip length one as the sew along just to see how it looks. So how much fabric do you need? Well, for the crop length, you need 1.2 to 2.1 metres depending on your size, and for the hip length one, 1.3 to 2.2 metres. They recommend medium weight knit fabrics. So for a beginner, I would suggest looking at Ponteromas. They're quite a structured knit. And you can also look at, if you want to be a bit more adventurous, you can look at a quilted jersey fabric, which is definitely on my radar. The last but definitely not least garment that you all chose was the Pona Jacket from Helen's Closet Patterns. Now, this is an easy beginner sewing jacket. So it's a beginner jacket pattern, which is good news for all of us. It's an oversized blazer feel with statement pockets and huge lapels. They are the main feature of this jacket. There are 2 different lengths, so you can have a crop length or you can do a long length as well. We're going to do the crop length, and maybe we'll do the long length in the pattern hacks, we'll see. So as I said, it is a perfect beginner jacket pattern. How much fabric do you need? Well, if you're doing the long length, you're going to need 3 metres of fabric. However, if you're doing the crop length, you only need 2 to 2.5 metres. They recommend light to medium weight woven fabrics, so your linens, your cotton twills, you could do it in corduroy, you could even do this in a quilted fabric. if you wanted to be a little bit more adventurous. So there are 5 patterns. I've pulled out my stash fabrics that I'm going to be using, so we'll pop over to my cutting table and have a chat about my fabric choices and why I've chosen them. I've got my pile of yummy fabrics and I just thought I'd run through them with you, and it might give you some inspiration for when you're shopping for yours. Now, the dress pattern, I have chosen this gorgeous cotton lawn fabric with a beautiful big tropical print on. As I said, the Seasons of East Summer in New York dress will take a big print, so don't feel like you've got to just look at your small ditzy prints. You can go big with this pattern, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's my fabric for my Seasons of East dress. Then we're moving on to the Moriko top, and I've gone for a really bold, this is a Nerida Hansen cotton jersey fabric, and it's in some bright colours. There's blues, pinks, oranges, all in this jersey fabric, and I'm going to use that for the top. Now, I did say that the top with the V and the slash detail at the front does lend itself to colour blocking, so I am considering colour blocking this with the cream fabric that I've got. So the cream fabric is a cotton jersey again, and it's got a gorgeous grey, subtle grey speck detail in it. Now, I'm also going to use this fabric to make a lightweight version of the Teifi cardigan, and I'm going to make the hip length one in this fabric. Let's move on to the Pietras. Now, I'm going to make the tapered leg version in the sew along, and I've got some beautiful, now this is from Pound Fabrics, it's a bargain, £7.50 a metre, and it is a soft canvas. So to find this, weirdly, you go to Pound Fabrics, select canvas fabrics, and the first option is the soft cotton canvas. Now, you'd think this would be too heavy for trousers, but is actually a really good weight for a spring and summer trouser. So I'm going to make the Pietra's tapered leg version in this fabric. Then we move on to the final garment, which is the jacket. Again, I'm going to use this fabric, but I've also got this viscose linen fabric that I absolutely love, and I think these go really well together. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing the jacket in this, and then doing the lapels and collar in this fabric. And then I'm also going to, when we're doing the pattern hacking, make a wide leg pair of the Pietras in this. So we'll have 2 pairs of trousers and 1 jacket that all go together. And then we've got that top that will go underneath them. Or I could make a plain top, because we've got a lot of pattern in the trousers and the jacket, and just do a plain cream top. So there's lots of options there, and I hope it's given you a little bit of inspiration, because it can be daunting when you start looking for fabrics. My suggestion for this capsule is, if you're doing a patterned fabric for your dress, choose that first. Look at the colours that are in that dress fabric, pick those out and use those for your plains. because if you've got all patterned fabrics, it's just going to be a hot mess and just too much. You're not going to be able to coordinate properly, so you do need some patterns and some plains. So just to give you an idea, I've got 3 patterned fabrics, all with similar colours in them, and 2 plain fabrics to use to bring it all together, if you like. So there we go. That's the introduction to our sew-alongs completed. I hope I've given you some inspiration. The first part of the Seasons of East Summer in New York Dress sew-along will be on the 1st of March, and we'll be going through, they're all going to be in 3 parts. So part 1 is going to be going through all the tools and equipment and fabric and cutting out your pattern in week 1. Then you can have a well-earned break, and then week 2, which will be the 8th of March, we're going to do the actual sew-along and sew the garment together. And then week 3, we'll be looking at pattern hacking and how we can make our pattern work for us and get bang for our buck from our pattern. So I hope you're going to join me. There is a Facebook group set up, and I will pop the link below. Please join the Facebook group. Talk to each other, ask questions in there, and feel free to answer questions. Don't wait for me to answer them all. The idea of doing these sew-alongs is that we're all going to share our knowledge and our experience together and become friends, I hope, at the end of it, and all have an amazing spring capsule wardrobe that we'll be proud of. So I will see you on the 1st of March for the beginning of our sew-along capsule wardrobe journey. Take care. See you soon.